I am a hater. They have bewitched me body and soul. I fucking love going to the gym. Good movies and shows fail all the time. I'm dead. I'm dead inside. And I knew about the allegations of elitism, but wow. Hi, welcome back to my channel. I'm Lina, and today we're going to talk about my Q1 favorites. Honestly, I think the favorites thing is like too overwhelming to do an entire year, but I also don't have enough favorites per month because I am a hater, so I can't really do a monthly favorite video. But quarterly favorites, as if I were a corporate unit, is quite good for me. So this is going to cover late December 2025 into early April 2026. First one is heated rivalry. No one who knows me is surprised at how obsessed I am with heated rivalry. Like, this was inevitable. This feels like a canon event. I mean, do I have to tell you what heated rivalry is about? It's the gay hockey show. Like, if you don't know what it's about, like, what are you doing here, honestly? It came out in November, December 2025, and the thing is, a month later, I'm still so obsessed with it. Like, I still think about it so much. I still read fan fiction about it. Like, they have bewitched me body and soul. And even more than that, I think it feels like a powerful show for so many reasons. Like, first of all, I loved the weekly release schedule. I think nothing compares to the feeling of having an episode drop every week, discussing it with your friends, diving into the psychology of the characters, trying to guess what's going to happen or trying to see where they're taking you. I mean, I had read the book, but I still had so much fun watching it because of the weekly schedule. And I think that's also something that I'm taking away, like, in my work. I'm thinking, okay, what is the point of building anticipation here? How do you do it? What do you owe your audience week to week, and how do you deliver it to them? And I think the way that Jacob Tierney and the whole crew and cast built tension until that moment of explosive release in episode 5, and then the soft landing of episode 6, like, just absolutely banger. And I think this is something that the show, in my opinion, does much better than the books. I read the book Heated Rivalry before watching the show, and like, it was fun, and I read it really quickly, but I wasn't crazy about it. Like, I felt, okay, this is fun, but this isn't really for me. It's not like, it didn't hit. And I expected to feel the same way about the show. I expected the show to be a casual viewing experience. But then the show did something that the book didn't do. It didn't spell everything out. It focused on the lingering glances and the uncertainty and just like the physically unspoken things between the characters, which you get from a visual medium because there's no internal monologue. And I feel like we got so lucky with this cast because they successfully transmitted all the emotions of these characters through their incredible, like, face acting. And I am a little bit obsessed with them. Like, do I have too many Hudson Williams edits saved in my phone? Yes. Have I made a heated rivalry edit that is not good? Also, yes. I think also what I love about heated rivalry is like the sense of community and communion. Like, I think I haven't been in a fandom that felt this active and wild and crazy since One Direction, in the best and worst ways at the same time. But while it was airing, it was so beautiful. Like, watching people react to episode 5 at the bar, like, it felt like magic. And I think the other thing that the show did is inspire action in real life and like made me look at my life differently. I think a lot of people took lessons about romantic love from this and about the kind of things that I can expect from love. And I think I took that, but I also took going to the gym. Like, I want to be buff. I want to be buff as hell. Like, maybe I should start going to the gym. But I don't know, more seriously, like, it's just a show about really passionate people doing something, and it made me want to do something really passionate and to bring some of the things that bring joy into my life. Like, you know, I'm still in the trenches. Like, I'm still thinking about Shane Hollander and Ilya Rozanov every day of my fucking life. Like, yesterday I was scrolling through Tumblr and I was just like, oh my god, they're in love. Like, they're in love, and it's so fucking beautiful. Like, I don't know, I think, yeah, the storytelling is really good, but also the other thing that makes it an obsession for me as a film production student, because I'm always thinking about how it's made, and like, I look at how Jacob Tierney achieved what he achieved on that budget, and it's kind of a small fucking miracle, because so many times good ideas never become good shows, and even good shows never become successful shows. And it's so beautiful to see that this show has obviously so much heart in it from everyone who has worked on it. Like, they obviously care so much about telling this story and telling it right and using every tool to make this the best version of the story can be. Like, it kind of makes me emotional. Like, you hear from the costume designer, the hair and makeup team, the cinematographer, like, everyone brought their A game. And I'm always inspired by people who work with small budgets, who work in film and TV in a way that's almost artisanal, when they get to that level of recognition. Like, that's really inspirational to me. Like, I talked about it with people at work and we all agree, like, we wish we were making that kind of stuff. We wish we had that much freedom to create queer stories and to tell these stories in a really respectful and thoughtful and heartfelt and just authentic and sexy and entertaining way. Like, I understand all of the criticism that has come to Heated Rivalry, like, after the fact, and I get that it's not for everyone and that it doesn't represent everyone, it doesn't try to, but to me, it's insane how it got made and the level of success that it achieved, because so many shows that are made with heart, that are made with people who dedicate their entire world to it, fail all the time. Like, good movies and shows fail all the time. That's what's so heartbreaking, but that's also what's so great about Heated Rivalry, like, blowing expectations out of the water. Yeah. Then my second favorite of the winter is obviously going to the gym. There was a little bit of foreshadowing in the previous segment, and this one is kind of unexpected because I used to be a gym hater. Like, I had this really negative bias about the gym. First of all, about the people that go to the gym. Like, I thought of the gym as an exercise for people who don't have hobbies. Like, I didn't see it as a real way of exercising in a way. Like, I always thought it was more interesting to be outdoors or a part of a team sport or an artistic practice. Like, I would put every other kind of exercise over the gym. And obviously with Heated Rivalry, I started thinking about the gym a bit differently, but it's also because my body was like crumbling. Like, I used to be quite active, do a lot of dance classes, cycle and stuff, but I got to a point where I was like, okay, why am I 27 years old and like winded when I get up 2 flights of stairs? That's not acceptable. So I will go to the gym, and I especially wanted to feel better and feel more prepared for dance classes by going to the gym. Yeah, so I got a gym subscription. I was heavily encouraged by Hudson Williams, and now I fucking love going to the gym. Like, I just didn't expect it because like I never got into running and I never got like, oh, you get euphoric when you run because my joints hurt so much. And now that I've tried the elliptical, I'm like, okay, this is why people are addicted to cardio. This is why people fucking love cardio. Like the level of good you feel in your brain when your heart rate just went up to like 180 for 10 minutes. It's like, maybe it's oxygen deprivation, but it feels so good. It's insane. And I have fun at the gym. Like I'm doing weights, I've gone back to pole dance classes, and I feel good in my body. I'm sore after the gym, but I feel more present and more able to do the things I actually want to do in life. So, and I'm even starting to get abs. Like, you know, my arms are kind of getting big. Like you can't see it from here, but believe me, like my arms, they're Hudson Williams big, believe me. Kind of in line with the gym, health-wise, my next favorite is the air fryer that I got for Christmas. I know so many people who are air fryer resistant or skeptics. They're like, it's just a convection oven, it's just an oven. It's like, sure, but also I live in 20 square meters and I don't have the space for an oven, and this is so much faster, so much cleaner, and so much more efficient than an oven. It's also a lot better than a microwave because it gets things really crispy. And I'm in my student apartment. I'm making fried chicken, I'm making plantain, I'm making like eggplant with a marinade, I'm making like really good shit. I'm having a good time eating vegetables and like baking tofu, and it gets all crispy and also tender inside. Like it's a game changer in terms of nutrition. Like I'm not hesitating to buy some vegetables because I'm like, oh, I would need an oven to fry them. No, I just pop them in the air fryer. It's just that easy and that great. Oh, and also my air fryer is green, which is my favorite color, and I love it. It's like small and green and perfect, easy to clean. Like I'm never giving it away. It's going with me to every place I go. That was my infomercial consumerist moment. Next favorite, controversial. I'm including it because I like to feel like I'm part of something, but I'm not sure about how much of a favorite it is because it's still a work in progress. It's still an experiment, and we're talking about friction maxing. So in January, I canceled my Spotify subscription and I bought an iPod Nano, one of the square ones. Wait, I'm gonna show you. This one? Yeah, I love it. I'm no longer paying for a music streaming service. For how long? I don't know, because there's already so much friction in my life that I don't know that I want to add more, honestly. I do have fun downloading music, finding it, putting it in iTunes, synchronizing it. Like, yeah, I just feel like I'm not discovering as much music as I wish I were, or at least I'm listening to music more intentionally. I'm listening to albums. I've had a good time listening to albums and even listening to YouTube DJ sets. Like, I love that. And I do enjoy spending more time with music, but the friction aspect is like, oh, does it have to be so complicated? Like, does it have to? I mean, I had a really good time with the new Tame Impala album. I finally finished my Fiona Apple deep dive. Like, I finished listening to her entire discography, something that I started doing in 2023. It takes me a while. But I loved Fetch the Bolt Cutters, which is one of the most gutting of her albums. I think it's the most gutting. Like, I think I talked about Tidal in a favorites video in 2023, but obviously Apple is an incredible lyricist and a poet and a musical artist, but weirdly the strength of Fetch the Bolt Cutters is in how plainly and literally it states the thing she's going through. Like, there's a really moving maturity and sense of empathy for other women, for in that album, but also something quite angry and gnarly too. So I love it. I didn't get as into Harry and Mitski's albums. They didn't really meet my expectations, which is my fault for having them. But also, when you love artists, it's hard not to become a tough love fan. Like, I definitely am the tough love fan, but this is a favorites video. Let's not dwell on non-favorites. So again, next favorite is short films. This year, I went to the Clermont-Ferrand Short Film Festival again, which is the biggest short film festival in the world, and I love it so much. Like, it's such a friendly festival, everyone is so open, everything is so accessible, and I think I watched over 50 short films. When I got home, I kept watching short films. You could say that I was short film maxing. Yeah, I was kind of short film maxing, more so than friction maxing that quarter. But yeah, I just have a lot of fun with short films because it's sort of a commitment than a film, a feature, or an episode of TV show. And I'm always fascinated by short films as production objects because they have such low budgets, but they look really good. The storytelling is really sharp. And you can discover so many new directors, new actors, and it's a bit more experimental. Like for me, I tend to watch more weird animation and weird narratives in short form than in long form. So short film maxing it is. Then I'm going to talk about my top movies of the quarter. These are all old releases. I think the drama is close to being like one of the top movies of the quarter, like a new release, but the ones that really stayed with me have been old releases so far. So the first one is Queens of Drama by Alexis Langlois, which is basically a movie about if Britney Spears and a Riot Girl were in love, but also rivals on the charts. And it's a movie musical. It's so good. The music, the set design, the costumes, the storytelling, like, it's so camp and out there and in your face. And it's also made with so much love. Like, I watched it on Valentine's Day, which was very eventful for me because I lost my keys that night. But I watched it on Valentine's Day, and it was a screening with the director, the composer, and the producer. And it was so interesting listening to them talk about how the movie was made and what decisions they made early on, how hard it was to get financing for like this little queer oddity, and also how it pushed them to go even further in their aesthetic choices. Like, they talked about why they wanted that kind of cinematic language, the acting style, and why they wanted that kind of like musical vibes. And it was so interesting to see all of those pop cultural moments come together in something that's so maximalist and so much fun. And I love movie musicals. I feel like if I'm not talking about a movie musical in a favorites list, I'm dead. I'm dead inside. So then I watched Djibril, Diop, Mambéty's Touki, Bouki. A lot of times the movies that stick with me are movies that are feats of something. Like, I love a movie that feels like it shouldn't exist, like it feels like a miracle. That's what I want to watch most of the time. Like, I want to feel, oh my god, this is crazy that it even got made. I want that edge, and Touki Bouki has that edge. Like, also, it was a really good screening. It's a film that's not often screened in France. It was made in the 70s by a Senegalese director, and it's about a young couple in Dakar who want to live for Paris. And they get into small crimes trying to pay for their trip there. I'm telling you this, but this is so much less expensive than what you actually see on the screen. Like, I don't want to say that it's avant-garde, but it has that power, that breath of life, that like frenetic, young energy. It's very loud. It's shocking at times. I think it's very raw and wild. And I'm always wary of calling black art wild and raw because I don't want to imply that it's unpolished or that it's primitive in any way. I think it's actually, in a really crafted way, trying to capture the essence of a desire, trying to capture like a frenetic energy, and it does so through the editing, through the songs and the imagery that it shows. I really loved how this movie depicted a different kind of gender dynamic in the couple. I think I was surprised by how androgynous this couple was. They both had short hair, and the woman is somewhat flat-chested, and there's a really striking shot where she's riding a motorcycle and her shirt is open and you can see her chest. And that image really stuck with me because I thought, this is a picture of Black womanhood that I've never seen. Like, it felt so powerful and rich. And it was even more strong for me because it was a special screening, because like all of the people in that room were like Black cinephiles. Like, I saw so many people that I know from other Black movie events or just from talking about movies online, and it felt like a true moment of community and reconnecting with the sense of artistry and a legacy of artistry that we've been disconnected from. And yeah, that was really powerful. Okay, the last movie I want to talk about is The Competition by Claire Simon. It's a film about the competitive exam that people take to enter into France's most selective film school, La Fémis. It's a school that has many curriculum, so directing, screenwriting, producing, script supervisor, director of photography, and in each curriculum, they only take 6 people each year. And over 1,000 people apply, and it's a very difficult and thorough exam. The director who made this documentary, she used to work for La Fémis, this film school, and she made that film documenting the exam 1 year and all of the students looking to get in, but also, and I think actually especially, the jury. And that movie really shook me because before I got into my current production program, I was considering applying to La Fémis. But it's a 4-year program, it's very long, and I graduated high school 10 years ago, so I was like, okay. There's also a cap, like you cannot apply to it after 27 years old. So I am past that cap. Like, I don't think of La Fémis as an eventuality anymore. But I am curious because this is a film school that produced so many of the most renowned filmmakers of France. Like, Julia Ducournau came out of La Fémis, this is the kind of school that it is. And I knew about the allegations of elitism, but wow, damn, this is crazy. Like, it is crazy how symbolically violent that exam is. Like, if you don't know, symbolic violence is an idea that was coined by Pierre Bourdieu. It's basically about situations where the gap between what is the norm and what you know or are exposes your lower status in society. Like, if you're the only Black person in a primarily white institution and you're constantly reminded of that through people expecting you to know things that you don't know, that's symbolically violent. And that movie is violent in that way. Like, the exam is violent, but the movie also is, because of the way the juries speak about the candidates, because of the way that they speak to each other about what they expect from the candidates, and all that in front of a camera, which is probably because they think of it as normal. That's what shocked me, because all of these people are filmmakers in one way or another. They all know the process of making a film, and so they partake in this documentary knowing that they will be chopped and edited and everything, but they still said the things they said. Like, they must be a level of incredible ease to call a prospective student a peasant on camera, like, or like an insane person on camera. Like, there are some things that are so frankly classist and ableist and just like, wow. And I think the movie is genius in that way because you don't know, like, it's really ambiguous. Like, you don't know if the director is condemning what they're saying or if she's reveling in the elitism of the school. And it's also a weird thing because, of course, if you demean another person's artistic work, like, that's quite cruel. Like, that's on the jury. But also the director edited and kept those pieces and exposed that private cruelty, and that's another kind of cruelty. And that really got me thinking, like, what is your responsibility as a documentary filmmaker to, like, the people that you film, the jury, the candidates, their dignity, like, even if their faces aren't shown, like, where is the responsibility here? And this film is 10 years old, so now all the people that were shown in that film have entered that graduating class or have found other ways to make films, and it's like, damn, like, what does it feel like to be the subject of that kind of documentary? What a weird film. Like, it really got my gears turning. Guys, I think that's it for my winter favorites. Notice how not a single book was mentioned, because I haven't read a book in 3 months. That's why I can't be a book channel anymore, but yeah. I mean, I might read The Long Game soon. Like, I might get really into the Game Changers series. I don't know. Yeah. Have you watched Heated Rivalry? Will you watch Heated Rivalry? When will you watch Heated Rivalry? Like, okay, did you like it? You can be honest. I will not cry. Maybe I will, but that's okay. If you didn't like it. But yeah, when was the last time you watched something that, like, you felt compelled you to change your life? Yeah, that's my question. Really deep, really deep. Let me know in the comments. Yeah, let's have a chat. Let's have a kiki. I feel like, you know, this kind of sentence that feels like it doesn't really belong in my mouth. I want to say it, and I feel like I can say it, but it sounds weird. Like, it sounds English second language. Like, let's have a kiki. Like, do you believe me when I say that? Let's have a kiki. No, you don't believe me. Okay, see you in the comments. Bye.